Welcome to Anime Out of Context, a comedy review show where a man completely immersed in anime culture torments his co-host, who is only allowed to watch the shows featured here. If you'd like to support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/animeoutofcontext. Alongside over 100 hours of exclusive bonus material, all episodes uploaded to Patreon are completely ad-free, even to non-patrons. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And I pick a penguin over a pirate any day of the week.
I'm Shaun Rollins.
I'm Remington Chase.
Hey Rem, I got a question for you.
I have an answer for you.
Do you think Godzilla deserves love?
I suppose I would probably have some follow-up questions, but lacking that, with the strict binary yes or no, I guess I would lean towards yes.
Why is that? After all he's done?
First of all, you monster. As I make Shaun second guess everything you knew about Godzilla.
Well, see, the problem is, Rem, is I'm trying to figure out if you're referencing the very, very bad early 2000s American Godzilla adaptation, where Godzilla was, laid a bunch of eggs in a New York subway system. Oh, it's by and large one of the worst monster movies in the face of the planet. So that's why I'm just like, but no, I'm 99% certain OG Godzilla is male, despite having a son.
I think Godzilla deserves love because first of all, especially depending on which Godzilla. Look, they're not out there for destruction. They're just trying to live their own life, all right? They're just trying to exist. They're just trying to make it out here, all right? It's not their fault they're an absolute force of destruction ready to wreck absolutely everything. It's not their fault that they're a metaphor for the atom bombs absolutely devastating absolutely everything, all right? They didn't choose that life.
So you think they deserve a second chance?
I think if they're willing to put in the effort, and furthermore, I don't think they would ever be able to be worthy of a second chance if they weren't given love first, all right?
I see. Okay, Rob. I'm glad that we were able to discuss these complicated themes, just to show that...
As we go into the Godzilla harem anime.
Where Godzilla gets all the bitches.
Yeah, where it's it's sort of Godzilla dating sim. Where it goes through all of the others, right? You got fucking Mothra, you got
Kaiju full boyfriend.
Kaiju full boyfriend would be so good. It would be so fucking good, though.
That has to exist, surely. Oh
my god.
There has to be a Godzilla themed dating sim out there.
If it doesn't exist, then we can make legally distinct Godzilla dating sim. That might be the title of it. Either that or it could be like Kaijus Deserve Love too.
You could just do legally distinct Kaiju dating sim.
Yeah. I think that would be fantastic. Hey, any game programmers,
any artists, hit us up.
Steal this idea from us. Hit us up and we will link you with whoever else hits us up. And we will allow you to create it. We just want to know that it exists. Yep. Throw a dedication to us in the credits, and that's it. That's all the credit.
We'll even throw Dylan at you for a VA role if you need it.
Yeah.
We're willing to do it as well, but I don't think anybody wants to hear our voice coming out of a sexy monster.
Yeah. It
doesn't seem like if you speak to King Ghidorah or something and all of a sudden it's like, hey, how's it going? I'm King Ghidorah. I don't think people will like that. I don't think that's for most people.
Oh, man.
But, okay, Rem. Well, you can probably guess the general idea of what we're going to be talking about today. Hey, Rem, there's a new anime this season, and it is quite simply titled Otome Kaiju Caramelise. Or Kaiju Girl Caramelise, and pretty straightforward, and man oh man, it is about our lovely protagonist, Kuroe Akaishi, and she is a pretty shy, shut-in kind of girl. She doesn't really have any friends to speak of, has a lot of pent-up emotions, a lot of pent-up feelings towards her fellow classmates who are just straight up rude to her because she's, the quiet, weird girl that doesn't really associate with anybody. You know how it is. But she has a very solid reason for not wanting to associate with people. Because throughout her whole life, anytime she gets strong feelings of emotions, especially romantic ones, her body starts to shift and mutate into that of a kaiju.
Hell yeah. Now, when we say kaiju, there's a couple... As for anything anime girl related, there's a spectrum, right? It could just mean big woman. It could mean big woman with a kaiju feature, or it could be monstrous kaiju entirely, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where on the spectrum are we falling?
Here's the poster.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, no,
I see a full-ass kaiju, and I'm all in.
Yeah, so it does run the spectrum. Because, Rem, this is a silly romance comedy about a girl who just so happens to have the affliction of, when she gets flustered or overexerted, she might sprout kaiju bits. And that can be a problem because, turns out, we find out very quickly that it is very possible for her to go full kaiju.
All right, follow-up question,
yes.
All right? Are there other things of this nature in the world? Or is she just such a freak fucking anomaly?
So far, at the time of this recording, this is a brand new summer anime.
Woo.
So there are only 3 episodes out. But
I hope that it's just her.
So far, there are a lot of weird characters, but so far it does appear to primarily just be her.
Are there other, like, kaijus or other, just sort of, like, supernatural or beyond things, or is it just her?
So far, just her. They could add more, but...
I think they should not, because I think a lot of good storytelling, a lot of people are like, how do we fit it sort of within the broader narrative? How do we explain it? No, I think a lot of amazing stories just come from being like, this crazy freak shit is happening just to this one person. See what happens, right? Like that's just a great little storytelling formula right there. But too many are like, okay, but then how do we make it make sense? How do we explain it? How is it like exists more prominently in the broader world? It's like, nah, just give, if for something like this where it's just absolute freak shit, just let them have the freak shit all to themselves and just have to grapple with that.
Yeah, and that does appear to be where it stands currently. Of course, only 3 episodes are out at the time of this recording. We've got, well, actually, by the time this comes out, it'll probably be up to 4 then.
By the time this comes out, it might be 5.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's a very cute, silly show. Our main protagonist, Kuroe, is just like super animated, super bubbly, and like really does not know how to handle emotions because she's never confronted them before, because the one time she did, her hand turned into a giant kaiju mitt as she was trying to offer a boy a flower. Like, it's a little hard. Oh, and as a bonus, there is a cute dog.
Oh, hell yeah.
Jumbo King.
Oh my god, I love Jumbo King.
Yep. So, that to look forward to at the very least. But, Rem, I just figured that...
How can this show fail?
Well, Rem, that'll be up to you to decide. It's a brand new season. We're going in pretty frickin' early. This could just be a fun little lighthearted sleeper hit of the season, or it could be literally anything else, quite frankly. The premise alone got me invested.
Love the premise.
And the fact that, like, you see a full kaiju by the end of the first episode, like, it's pretty fucking great. Pretty good. I don't know how many times they'll commit to full kaiju, but the fact that they show it is an option is way more commitment than a lot of other monster shows are willing to do. So yeah, without further ado, I think let's just go straight into it. Let's go watch some Kaiju Girl Caramelise. And we are back after watching the first 3 episodes of Otome Kaiju Caramelise. Or however you pronounce that last word, which it does seem to be French, and French is not my strong suit. But the important thing is, Rem, are you feeling the warm and fuzzies, or have you rescinded your previous opinion on whether or not kaiju deserve love?
Look, obviously, kaijus deserve love. Like, broadly speaking, some of them push the line a bit, but broadly speaking, yeah,
broadly speaking, you feel like every giant monster that ravages a Japanese city deserves a chance at romance.
I feel like the default setting is worthy of love. All right. Now who knows? Maybe there's a Hitler kaiju out there. All right, and obviously exceptions can be made. But as a general rule,
Okay,
All right.
I'll be sure to keep an eye out for the Hitler Kaiju anime so we can put that theory to the test. I don't think there's a whole lot of them out there, but if there is, I'm sure I'll be able to find it.
Oh, man. So yeah, let's talk about Kaiju Girl, shall we?
Yeah.
It opens up talking about love brings only terror, and we get a flashback to a confession made, but she had a kaiju hand, so it didn't go well. We also see some of her mom's advice, which is, don't play with other people. I'm the only one on your side. That mom is abusive as hell.
It's not great. It definitely didn't really prepare our main character for a healthy relationship with her fellow peers.
And it does fall in the category of, like, this show is generally aware that, like, the mom's parenting ain't great, right? It's aware that trying to perhaps protect the child a bit too much and not in the best ways. I don't know if the show is aware that that's just, like, high-key abuse. If it's just like,
it's a little more low-key the way they're treating it.
Yeah, they're just like, what are you gonna do as a mom? And it's like, not that, dog. Not that at all. So there's a little bit of that. But nonetheless, there's a pretty boy at school. Every girl's like, holy shit, what a hunk, right?
Mm-hmm.
And our kaiju girl, Akaishi?
Akaishi.
There we go. Akaishi, she...
Or Kuroe, if you want to just, like, save your tongue a little bit.
Well, I have Akaishi written down, so that's what I'm going to commit to, goddammit.
All right, that's fine.
She gets embarrassed, so she does whatever she does when she gets embarrassed, which is go to the bathroom, listen to metal, and look at pancakes.
I mean, honestly, as far as coping mechanisms go...
It's not the worst one out there.
No.
And so... just trying to generally cope with all of that. Later is all alone drawing when, what do you know, Pretty Boy appears, right? And he wanted to be alone a little bit. He notices her art. They chat a little bit. He's like, yeah, it's just a little bit difficult having everyone fawning over me all the time. She gives him a reality check and is like, motherfucker, how dare you say such dumb privileged bullshit? And he's like, oh yeah, that's actually a very good point. That's genuinely a helpful note that's appreciated. I understand how that came across, and that's on me. Which is great.
I mean, that's fairly mature, all things considered.
Fantastic. And he's like, okay, well, I'll leave you alone. It seems like you're cold. Here's the scarf. She ends up running back inside, following him, chasing him, throws the scarf in his face, and then runs away. She gets home. That's where we meet Jumbo King.
Yep.
The great dog, good dog. What a dog, Jumbo King.
Yeah, no matter how you feel about this show, I figured Jumbo King would be high in your praises.
Yep. The next day, same spot with Minami. Where's the emphasis go? I never know, Shaun.
Minami.
And so they chat a little bit, right? He invites her to pancakes. And so they go, and he does not get any pancakes, which, look, even if you gotta at least pretend. You gotta at least... and he explains it's because he used to be fat, and so he's self-conscious about it, and she's like, eat a fucking pancake, you son of a bitch.
Which, honestly, we all need somebody in our lives to tell us to eat a fucking pancake every once in a while.
Especially, like, look, if you invited a girl out to pancakes, right... have a fucking
They
pancake.
have small pancakes.
Or at least order something.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're like, I'm here because you love pancakes, but really I'm gonna have the whatever.
A
right?
drink even would.
Yeah, just you gotta be like, and if you're just getting a drink, you gotta pretend like it's a drink you were really craving.
Yeah. You gotta make it seem like you want to be at that specific place so that they don't feel bad that like they've dragged you somewhere you didn't want to go.
Yeah. But they vibe together. Just generally hang out. Others see them together, and Akishi, she gets very self-conscious, but Minami does not give a shit. In fact, he holds hands, which causes her to sort of just start transforming. Oh, fuck, oh no, she runs away, destroys the railing, falls in water, goes full fucking kaiju. Her mom arrives, the kaiju is getting shot, but is unfazed until she sees her reflection, and is like, oh, fuck. And then it cuts to her surfacing and collapsing, and she was taken home, and et cetera, et cetera. Doesn't remember, but she's reminded by stuff on the TV, and we learn apparently she's in heat. I don't like that detail, but
I mean, that's how her mother describes it, but I don't know if it's like the most reliable thing.
I don't know, man. I don't like that.
I definitely don't like that phrasing, but it definitely feels like the way that the mom would phrase,
Let's
a
just
child
not
having
describe children in heat.
Yes.
That's my preference.
I agree. But the mom isn't great at the whole parenting thing, as we've discussed.
Oh man, but yeah, basically, I think a lot of what the sort of central metaphor is going for. It reminds me of. Are you familiar with James Acaster?
Of course.
He has his fantastic 4-part comedy show repertoire, absolutely phenomenal. In one of them, he talks about how like the good old advice of just be yourself in a relationship, and he argues. He just brings up, oh yeah, what if they don't like you? And he has a nice devastating quote. What if each relationship is just a process of someone finding out that they didn't like you as much as they hoped they would? And it's like, oh, mother God. And that's largely, ergo kaiju. You're just, you feel like you have a great and terrible beast within, and the more it is revealed, the more people hate you. It's also, a metaphor for how feeling overwhelmed, insecure, and self-loathing can be ultimately destructive to yourself and others. Which are all fascinating metaphors. Thus far, I'm gonna love with you. It knows that these are the metaphors it's playing with. But it doesn't really care that much. It's a super interesting metaphor. It's a really neat metaphor, and I'm not saying it doesn't know it's a metaphor. It's aware. It knows what it has.
But you're not. It's not going quite to the depth of the pool you're hoping for.
Well, yeah, because like for instance, all right, episode 1, big kaiju reveal, and then it just kind of nothing happens. It just kind of like, oh fuck, I was a big kaiju, but now I'm not. No. Whew.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible several people died, but we're just not going to address it.
and then later on, we get another instance of like, oh fuck, big kaiju, full kaiju. All right, now back to normal. Phew. And it's like, oh, I guess if you wanted to sort of like emphasize, if you wanted to, one, frankly, tell a more interesting story with the kaiju bits, and two, hit thematically, the destruction can come in different ways, right? It can either be very literal destruction. It could be destroying just accidentally or clumsily something meaningful, right? To herself, to somebody else, to a particular relationship, right? Maybe she stumbles into a playground she has fond memories of or something, right? And even just something as simple as that. Or even just, it needs to have some consequences, literal or emotional, and it kind of has not either time, despite it being the full kaiju.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, thus far, the repressed kaiju bits have been infinitely more relevant than the 2 absolutely full kaiju bits. Which just seems like a little bit of strange storytelling, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And look, hey, all right, Weebs, I feel you getting heated, all right? Overall, this review is going to be favorable, all right? Shut the fuck up.
Calm down, Weebs. He's pointing out his very specific criticisms. That means that overall he has good thoughts on the show.
I'm simply saying, hey, this thing that makes it really special, it's not using it nearly to its full capacity. There's a lot of wasted potential here, and so, thus far, it feels like just a fun gimmick as opposed to a really interesting concept, which it is. You can do so much with it. There's so much you could be doing, and even once again, maybe they do it later, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
I either feel like they should be going full kaiju less, or and this is a really important one. I think at very least the first time she goes full kaiju, there need to be somewhat severe consequences. I don't need there to be a big old massacre in the street, so that would be kind of rad.
You want this little girl to just absolutely devastate the populace.
But I do want it to more or less, I want it to emotionally feel like those times. You remember especially when you were young and you made decisions because you wanted to make things worse. You were in a bad state of mind, right? And you could have done X to make yourself feel better, but instead you wanted to make yourself feel worse. You wanted to make somebody else feel worse. And so you did, sometimes you wanted to do both. So you're like, I'm going to make myself feel worse just for the opportunity to make you feel bad, right? We've all had experiences like that. And then later on, you're like, what the fuck was I doing?
Yeah.
What the fuck? And that's what I feel like it could be. And that's like something really specific and evocative and totally works with going full kaiju. But instead, it's always just like, oh, whoopsie. And it's like, it's not even like the peak of embarrassment because nobody recognizes it's her. So if it's not going to maximize embarrassment or guilt or shame or any of this, then I'm left kind of wondering, okay, it seems kind of okay to be full kaiju. And not in the sense of like, hey, it's okay that you're a kaiju, but just in the sense of, oh, wait, which is sort of the metaphor for the thing, but just within the show, I should never be concerned about her going full kaiju because 2 times out of 2, it's a pretty okay result.
Yeah, the consequences haven't exactly been pronounced.
Things go worse if like her legs get a bit spiny than if she goes a bit kaiju, and I think that's clumsy storytelling. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
All right? I think they're not maximizing the really amazing premise they have.
Mm-hmm.
But let's continue on. Episode 2, some bullshit with other girls, blah, 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 blah. Akishi notices one girl talking to Minami and is like, oh, that's probably his girlfriend. I see, I get it. And so like tries to sort of ignore him. Later at home, sees a large larva outside and is like, is this another kaiju friend? And it's not. It's that girl who is talking with Minami. And her name, let's see, I have her name written somewhere. It's somewhere in here, by God.
Mm-hmm.
Manatsu?
Yeah, Manatsu.
And she is just super into kaijus. Holy shit, she's into kaijus. And it was just a sleeping bag, the little big larva, and she loves kaijus, everything, and so she loves the big kaiju that showed up. Which, you know, fun, quirky character. Sure, why not? They chat for a bit. And then later, next day at school, Manatsu helps Akiishi by asking Minami if he has a girlfriend, and he's like, no, but there's a girl I like, and then he stares directly at Akiishi, making it not subtle to anybody.
Yep, except to, you know.
Yeah. And of course, Akiishi just runs. Later, she gets locked up in a storage room by some bullies, just miscellaneous bullies. The bullies don't...
Yeah, the loose, the loose...
In some ways, this show will have surprising depth to its writing and characters. In other ways, it says, fuck it, let's do a lazy trope.
It's like it's like the bullies from a Stephen King flick just got like dropped into the story from time to time.
But even then, with just as much vindictive nature, but not quite as much personality or anything else going on for them, it really is just the most stock bully characters around, and it's sort of indicative. There is an uneven density of quality and thought put into this show overall, where a lot of it you'll be like, oh wow, that's actually much more thoughtful than you would expect in your average like shoujo, right? And then in other moments, you're like, oh, yeah, here's just lazy or amateurish or clumsy writing or execution or structural scene building. And they just kind of exist side by side. Now, I would prefer that to something that's just sort of like lukewarm all the way through. But it's just still worth noting that it's not a completely even, cohesive experience. There are peaks and valleys along this journey.
Much like the spines of a kaiju creature.
Yeah. So, she gets locked in a storage closet, and she starts, like, transforming, gets a big tail. Eventually, Minami looks for her and wants to, and, like, he and Manatsu, they confront the bullies. He looks for Akiishi, finds her, basically confesses to her. She lets him in. She's honest, but the tail disappears before he can see it. He gives her a compliment, and then she goes full kaiju. But once again, all right, so she goes full kaiju. What's going to happen? Episode 3, nothing happened.
Yeah.
Episode 2 ends with her going full kaiju. Episode 3, all right, she's done being kaiju.
Yep.
And then we get some very strangely structured stuff at the beginning of episode 3 where she reconvenes with Minami, and they have a bit of a chat where he talks, oh, it's beautiful, and it's like the kaiju, and it's like, no, the cherry blossoms, and it's, I don't know, kind of a meaningless conversation, just one of those lazy jokes, I guess.
Uh-huh.
And then we cut to Manatsu helping Akishi with clothes for the date. Oh, okay, they're going on a date, and we flash back to the scene we were just in, we just cut away from, to finish that scene where he asked her out on a date. And this is just one of those examples. Here's my wild guess for what the fuck is happening here, all right?
Okay.
It's because it's the only way that I could justify this decision being made. And I think that perhaps in the manga, you know, maybe in the manga, it ended one chapter, and then the start of the next one was Manatsu and Akiishi getting clothes and preparing, and then it flashed back to the date or whatever, right? Which kind of makes sense if there's been a chapter break, but does not make at all sense if there's not been a chapter break and it's just part of the first part of the episode. Because that's the only way it kind of makes sense in my brain, in which case it's just weird adaptation and not still such an easy fix that for some reason they didn't do. Once again, it's just kind of odd that these very amateur mistakes are mixed in with some like really interesting, thoughtful decisions. But all right, cool. Gets her all dolled up and stuff, and then she goes back to her home, which is just another kind of weird thing. It's like, okay, so she went to her friend's house to get all dolled up, and then she just stops by home to wait to get ready, but that's not where she's meeting for the date, so I don't really know why she stopped at home either, because she wasn't being picked up or anything. She's meeting at Disneyland. Weird decisions that are kind of just made and then never looked over again. But they go to Disneyland, and they have a fun old time in Disneyland. He's sparkling up a storm, right? And he makes the joke that, like, oh, he just wakes up like this. And she's like, really? And he's like, no, I spent hours putting effort into my look because I wanted to look nice today. I spent a lot of time and effort on this. Which once again, another great little decision. Yeah, the fuck the effortlessly pretty trope. It's fine to be like, hey, I cared about how I looked for you, so I put in the time and effort to look nice, and that's fine. That's great to see, especially, frankly, on the male side.
Rem, there's just one thing that I'm sad you haven't commented on yet.
What?
The off-brand Walt Disney statue.
Oh, hey, whoa. That's because technically we have not reached that point. It's right after this conversation.
It is right after this conversation, but I didn't know if you were going to bring...
You think I don't have in my notes, I appreciate replacing Walt with a black guy with a big afro? You think I didn't have that in my notes? You think I would overlook such a thing, Shaun?
Look, man, you never know. You never know. With how much quote-unquote right-wing rhetoric is preached on this podcast, you gotta... It feels like it's our civic duty to point out these things.
That's why I have to act as a counterbalance, so of course I'm going to bring it up. Great decision, especially considering, Walt Disney, not a great dude. Not a great dude. No. I won't say he's like one of the worst to ever do it. I think that's a bit silly. Like, obviously very influential, very talented, but also, Jesus Christ, terrible political opinions and just terrible, not a great human as a whole, but influential creator and not the worst human. That's where Disney is at. But if he was replaced just with a black guy with a big afro, I don't know, that wouldn't fix his personal problems or his political opinions, but it'd make him cooler. It would. So they have a lovely little date, right? With the mom just sort of watching over, and At one point, she gets embarrassed and says that they're not a couple, which makes him sad and goes quiet. And he's like, "Oh shit, I thought this was going well." But that's kind of resolved. They go on the log flume together. Kaiju starts leaking out a little bit. They talk a little bit more, and he's like, "Hey, it seems like you're not really vibing. You're trying to like distance yourself from me, and that's fine. That's totally okay. Like, hey, I'm turned down. Okay." And so he leaves. But she chases after him, but she's starting to let the kaiju out. She rushes to him. He sees the kaiju elements, and she's like, "Fuck," and she runs away. Then she goes into the bathroom and goes full black pill, embrace monstrosity. I'm just an evil monster now. Which, once again, it could have been nice to see
some follow-up consequences to that.
Yeah, just like anything being done here when you're like, I'm embracing my monstrosity, but it just means like walking with your head a bit lower. And it's like, I need, when you're talking about embracing monstrosity and being like, fuck it, once again, just relate it to that evergreen teen experience of hurting yourself or others because you feel bad. And you're going to feel even worse when you recognize what you've done, and you need to grapple and learn how to manage that, right? And that's part of growing up. It's such an evocative, meaningful experience that they're deliberately avoiding at every turn. And so instead it amounts to, when your emotions get so fucking intense, when you feel overwhelmed and you feel embarrassed or you feel self-loathing or even just like you feel blissfully in love, all of these things. Fortunately, don't worry about it. That will not meaningfully affect your choices or actions. It's like, well, it's they have the metaphor, and it's not like it's a subtle metaphor. It's going full fucking kaiju, right? You go kaiju. So surely, if that's what you're working with, you want to do more with that. But thus far, they are like actively avoiding it in a strange way. Anyway, eventually he grabs her tail and he's like, "Hey, it's fine. It's all okay. I was confused and startled at first, but now I recognize it's a cosplay." And I also don't really care for this direction. It's a very tropey direction of just like he constantly misunderstands. Like, if anything, it would be nice if we just cut the bullshit and he realized earlier rather than later, right? Rather than following the exact same structural tropes as every other shoujo where somebody's like, I can't let them know. Mm-hmm. Oh no, they might find out. Oh shit, they saw, but they didn't understand. They misinterpreted it as this. We've been here before. So once again, it's a strange blend of genuine originality and thought and subversion of the tropes to a strict and often clumsy adherence to those same tropes in a thoughtless, poorly done manner. And so ultimately I end up favorable on it, but it ends up being like a 6 out of 10, right? Because I'm like, yeah, it is charming. It is a fun concept. It has some fun moments. It has some thoughtful moments, but it also has so much poorly done bullshit that's disappointing because it could be amazing. It could be a fucking god tier show, frankly. All right. It's got the premise. It shows moments of genuine thought and human understanding that is oh so rare in this genre, but it's just not consistent with those things. And that's a shame.
I mean, I suppose you could interpret Minami's reaction as like him coming up with an excuse so that she doesn't feel self-conscious, because it does seem a bit like it feels like he saw her kind of go full kaiju already at this point in a lot of ways. I don't know if that was the goal or not, but I feel like I could see that being an interpretation of that scene in particular. So it's not quite as tropey as before, but
I don't. It didn't read that way to me, but that's not an impossible read.
Yeah,
That's where it's at for me.
it's just muddy is the way I would interpret it, because that's kind of how it felt to me when I watched it. But at the same time, like when you say it that way, it's like, oh yeah, it does seem exactly like that trope before.
I might be more willing to like have that reading if we didn't have sort of the cherry blossoms moment earlier.
True.
That also seemed quite sincere.
Yeah, I think it's one of those situations where it's pretty early in the show, and who knows how things are going to progress from this point onward.
Yeah,
like
I think that what this show really needs is just a little bit more refinement and polish, because it's got the sauce. It has what it needs. And it's like I'm having a meal, I'm biting into it, right? And some bites I'm like, ooh, holy shit, ooh la la. Like if you've ever had certain meals where certain bites you get like a perfectly seasoned bite and you're like, that's transcendent, and then you bite the next one and it's like bland and a bit cold, and you're like, how is this the same meal? How? I don't understand. It's
like a sandwich that was kind of slapdash thrown together, so you're getting like a good cohesive bite every once in a while, and then sometimes you just get lettuce. It's like a bad Subway sandwich at times.
It's like if every sandwich topping was Swiss cheesed, but in different ways, and so just different pockets, and some of them you're like, oh perfect, I got a little bit of everything. Other times you just bite into a hole. It's a hole of everything, and you're like, there was nothing there, and that probably shouldn't have happened, guys. we probably should have avoided any holes.
Yeah. But they say holes are goals, and apparently they took the wrong interpretation of that phrase.
So I like a lot of what this show is doing. How it's working as a whole is a little bit hit or miss. It's possible that when it comes into its own, it will get more consistent and hopefully in the good direction. And I hope that is the case. I'm not entirely sold that will be the case. If I had to guess, I think that the relatively inconsistent quality and uneven nature of it will continue on throughout. But I also, if I've learned one thing, most weebs don't care about that. I do think, look, if the premise sounds good, weebs, go for it.
Yeah. I will say, the thing that I appreciate as quote unquote one of the weebs, as you frequently call me, is that there's genuine progress being made very quickly in a romance show where the protagonists are, younger. Like, because most of the time...
I do really appreciate the low bullshit qualities of the romance so far. I say low bullshit because, once again, if anything, we're starting to introduce elements of bullshit, and I'm like, oh, no, don't do this. Like, a little part of me is worried that they thought they were going too fast, and they were like, look, we need to put up roadblocks quick. And if that was their mentality, then that was a horrible creative decision. I hope that's not the case, and it just so happens a few questionable decisions at this stage, but it'll still continue at the same pace, which should mean that, like, things are clear and open quite soon.
But yeah, that's the beauty of watching a brand new seasonal as it's coming out. You don't quite know how it's going to progress until it does.
So the weebs can't yell at me too much yet.
No, unless they're manga readers, in which case they'll probably find some reason to yell at you, even though you did not read the manga, so how would you know?
Yeah, look, I need to be abundantly clear. I am simply reviewing what is put in front of my face.
Yep.
All right? And so you may be like, but what about this thing that wasn't put in front of your face? Well, very obviously, I don't have many thoughts about that. Now do
it. But hey, at least our protagonist is an adorable little goofball who, like, you just kind of want good things to happen for her.
Yeah, I think she's fun. Like, our two leads are really solid so far. Occasionally get a little too tropey, but for the most part are able to avoid that and just have fun, vivid personalities. Even, what's her bucket? Manatsu. She's fun. It's just a quirky side character. I think they need to start doing a little something more with her, because I do think it's gonna get old real quick if we don't, but it's early enough that it's justified where her character's at. And then the mom I don't the mom I'm side-eyeing. I don't know if that's a good character. I understand her role in the story, but I don't think the way they've handled that thus far.
Yeah.
That's the only one I'm like, I think they may be mishandling this character. And in some kind of weird ways.
Yeah, like it's very much the Gyaru single mom type trope, but the way that they're making the decisions on how to raise their daughter is not exactly... It's not the most healthy way to go about things, and it is kind of laughed off more often than it is not.
Yeah, it's also strange to go that direction, like with the mom's aesthetic and vibe, but also have her be a helicopter parent, which I feel like are, like, broadly speaking,
counterintuitive, yeah.
Which you could make work, but it's not that it's like, oh, an interesting juxtaposition that's adding depth. It just kind of feels like slapdash decisions smushed together. She's the only major character thus far that I'm like, and I guess the bullies, just as a, like, whole, because
I mean,
not any one of them is a meaningful character, but, like, the entity of bullies has had quite a bit of screen time.
And you're middling on Jumbo King is what you're saying?
Look, I love Jumbo King. He hasn't done shit. He's not been relevant at all. Look, he's not the goodest of boys, but he's a good boy. He's a solid good boy. But unfortunately, like, I'm gonna remember his name. I'm not gonna remember much of him yet.
Jumbo King is what will stick, but not.
He hasn't had a lot of cute moments. He's generally cute. He's cute. He is cute, but he hasn't done anything to me where I'm like, Jumbo King. I'm just like, oh yeah, I like Jumbo King.
I will say the funniest part is on the Mal characters page, the order that it's currently listed is it's our two main characters, Manatsu, and then Jumbo King.
Yeah, you know, and the main four, as I think of them. Yeah. The main four. All those four going on all sorts of wacky adventures.
Yeah, the mom got usurped by their dog. It's very amusing.
Also, it does seem like the mom fucked a kaiju man.
That does seem like the route it's going.
Which I do think is a less interesting direction. I like it unexplained, and look, it's not the worst thing to explain it, but I do think it is way more fun to just
have a girl that randomly turns into a kaiju with no real explanation.
Yeah. Leaving shit unexplained can be rad as hell as a narrative tool. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to commit to that, unfortunately, Rem, because, you know, people love to explain shit. We got a bunch of nerds out there that love to know reasons for things.
Oh, man.
But overall, still a pretty positive and cute show.
Still giving a favorable review. I liked it. I wanted to adore it. I wanted it to be peak. It's not quite peak, but it is good.
Well, hey, that just means it's probably peak for somebody else, because as we all know, Rem, your opinions are very much pinpoint focused. And
it's true.
And there's probably going to be some people out there that start watching the show and be like, I don't know what he's talking about. This is the cutest little fucking show ever, and I love it. And I can't wait to hear people say that kind of things. But we have a general idea of what you think of it. What do you think the weebs have rated this show?
Ooh, okay, so it's new. I think it's different. It's evocative. It has a great concept. So I think it's going to be quite high.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only like possible asterisk, and I'm gonna rate and then note my asterisk. I'm gonna say 8.19. Quite high, especially being new.
Uh-huh.
I think the major risk that could bring it down a fairly substantial amount is if it was in any way marketed or labeled as shonen. Because then people may have been expecting more kaiju bullshit, not just for the reasons I was, which was for like narrative and thematic resonance, but simply because they just want kaiju bullshit, right?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I can think would be a possible major detriment to it.
Okay. So what are you locking in for your final score?
8.19.
Okay. Yeah, I don't, as is pretty obvious, I don't really get much of the advertising targeted at me because I go out seeking this stuff myself.
Sure.
But based on all like the promo images and how it's displayed on things like Crunchyroll's homepage and things like that, it has very clearly got like that shoujo josei styling to it. Like it's
which I do feel like it. Like, look, if I'm a marketer, then I'm doing the most shoujo shit imaginable, but with a kaiju.
Yeah.
Right. Like it does feel like an easy slam dunk marketing wise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No. Like genuinely, like all of like the.
If anything, I'm looking back at the like most saccharinely sweet marketing of other shonen, right? And I'm satirizing them by replacing the main thing with a fucking kaiju, and that'd be great.
Yeah,
that'd
like
be good
I
marketing.
sent you the picture of the main cover, and like that's a shoujo-ass cover, even though there's Godzilla in the background.
Yeah.
Hell, one of
All
her
right,
spines
so-
is a heart. But yeah, so
Yes.
8.19 was your final score.
Yeah.
Well, Rem, only 6,000 people have reviewed this show so far.
Wow.
Yeah, it's brand spanking new.
I guess some may be, waiting to see the rest of it, which I do think is reasonable practice.
Yeah, no, I mean, genuinely rating things before they're finished is usually jumping the gun a little bit, unless like there is an egregious reason to like rate something super high or super low. Like Free Ren comes to mind, because when that dropped with like the first 3 episodes, it was a first 4 episodes rather, people were singing that to the high praises. And immediately started rating it as a 10 out of 10 show. And then you've got things like X-Arm, if you remember that monstrosity, where you watch one episode and it's like, oh no, there's no hope for this. This is the worst thing on the face of the planet. But yeah, only 6,000 people have rated the show, and it is currently sitting nice and pretty at, please calm down, Zoomers, 7.67.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
a lot lower than you would anticipate, but
Interesting.
but looking at the stat breakdown, it's pretty comparable to a lot of other shows in its genre. It's just that I think the low numbers and the fact that the vast majority are giving this a solid like 7 or 8 out of 10 is leaning it towards being a little bit more of a balanced, not weeb-centric score, which is a little unexpected. Like, there aren't any like major hating reviews. Like, there's like the reviews below 5 are in only the double digits, and like those are from people who are like, if you're rating this show a 1 out of 10, like, you really gotta reassess things. Like, if you didn't like it, maybe it just wasn't a show for you, but it's definitely not a 1 out of 10 situation.
Yeah, it has meaningful and significant flaws, but at the same time, Weebs, it's not like...
it's not like the worst thing you've ever seen in your goddamn life.
I've said that about plenty of y'all's favorite shows, and so, like...
But yeah, so it's early days, small group of people are watching it, which kind of makes sense because there's a lot of continuing season shows that are going super hard this time around, including what I believe might be the final part of Bleach, 20 years later, which is a wild thing to throw in. But yeah, as far as people's opinions of the show, anybody who's watched it seems to like it. Seems to be having a good time with it. They're not rating it 10 out of 10 as much, but, that's probably for the best. All in all, I think if you like the idea of a cute little romance with a lot of personality, you're probably going to enjoy Otome Kaiju Caramelise here.
Yeah. I also like the purple and pink color scheme it sometimes does.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it committed a little more to that.
Yeah, you want it,
but it's nice when it does.
Yeah,
I want this to embrace itself as like freak shit. Because let's face it, it is.
I mean, yeah, the fact that
this show is making the mistake that Akiishi is, and it's instead of finding the freaks who will love her, this show similarly is trying to appeal to everybody, and that's not who you are. All right, when you're a kaiju shoujo romance, you're appealing to the freaks.
Yeah. I mean, it also, there's definitely a freak vibe because the show is implying that the mom has had relations with a kaiju man in the past. Like, there's already a strong implication there.
Possibly the guy we see at the end of episode 3 in the little epilogue bit.
Like, definitely has, like, this could be, like, the deadbeat father that's not around. That definitely makes some sense.
Yeah.
Won't know until we sit down and watch it. I know for a fact that I'm going to sit down and watch the rest of it as it comes out because I think it's adorable and I enjoy that. And I need some whimsy in my life because God, is it sad otherwise.
Good old kaiju whimsy.
Kaiju whimsy. Get it today. At all your local supermarkets.
Speaking of whimsy, want to have a 2-minute interjection where I talk about a couple of movies?
Sure, why not?
Been watching through 60s movies, right?
Oh, okay. That definitely a very hit or miss decade.
And while watching through, for the first time, I watched a couple of big hitter whimsical musicals, and that would be Mary Poppins and Sound of Music, right? Have you watched either Mary Poppins or Sound of Music, Shaun?
Both. Multiple times.
Oh, of course. It makes sense. It was my first time, because I'm a plebe.
Yeah.
I thought one of them was quite good, and the other one was a mixed bag.
Huh.
If you had to guess which is which.
If I had to guess, just cold off the top of nothing, I think the most mixed bag might be Mary Poppins, just because of how many different segments there are, and one segment might not hit the same way as the others, whereas like Sound of Music is a more consistent story overall, but at the same time, you do have Nazis, which is definitely an aspect, but it could very easily be flipped.
Overall, it was actually Mary Poppins that I quite liked.
Okay,
I thought it was strong. It is an uneven experience. Some bits and scenes and songs are better than others, but there's just so much creative whimsy jam-packed into it, and very few of the bits that don't work overstay their welcome. So, it's sufficiently whimsical that it still gets a very solid thumbs up. Meanwhile, Sound of Music has some great moments, but I thought some of the writing was trash. And, you mentioned, like, Nazis. Look, I enjoy saying, hey, fuck you Nazis as much as the next guy. But the movie completely wraps itself up and then says, oh, shit, but by the way, for the next 40 minutes, what if we just escaped the Nazis? And it's like, oh, but didn't we tell, like, a complete story and, like, complete the emotional arc in its entirety? And there's no ambiguity about that? And it's like, yeah. And it's like, okay, and, like, the Nazis have been around, but they haven't been the focus of the story, so isn't it kind of weird to suddenly make them the focus of the story immediately after resolving everything? Like, you could try to pull a Cabaret or pull Casablanca, where the themes and narrative are much more strongly linked. But in this case, they're just two separate things, and it's just like, hey, and now for 40 minutes we're doing this, I guess. And it's like, what the fuck? What the hell? Why? And it's not even, it's like, oh, but to show maybe how the family is band together, they're strong now. But really, it's just the dad doing everything. The rest of the family is irrelevant in that whole bit. What the fuck? It's a 5 out of 10 Sound of Music, all right?
Oh, wow.
And it's between a 5 and a 6, but it rounds down to a 5. And that's my thoughts on Sound of Music. So
I can't wait for this to all stay in the episode.
Actually, this is the only part of the episode. Dylan decided that
us talking
when talking about Kaiju Girl, bad episode. Us talking about Sound of Music, you know what? If that's all we got.
5 minutes of that, that's great. There definitely wasn't any like pushback on you hijacking last week's episode for a full dice game. Which hilariously, there was equal amounts of pushback and equal amounts of people were like, "Oh, this is the best shit ever."
yeah. And look, honestly, I'll take it. What the fuck did you guys expect? What could I have filled the time with, you motherfuckers? Don't just say, "Why did he do that?" Tell me what I should have done. Do you just want the 5 minutes? In which case, if you just want the 5-minute review, you got that. You can stop listening. You're not trapped here. I am.
They could have.
You're free to leave at any time.
I think a lot of the criticism was like, I should have showed you more. And I'm like, I could have, but at the same time, I don't know how much more meat on the bones it would have added for Rem's opinion, because though you may enjoy rocks, it is not a hyperfixation for you, so it's not something that you can go on and on about despite.
So some people were even being like, maybe he just hates geology. I like geology. I'll tell you what, I can guarantee I have studied geology more than the vast majority of you motherfuckers, all right? I have read multiple books about just geology in my free time. All right? It's simply that there wasn't much to talk about. Even then, what? You just wanted an introductory lesson on geology? Is that what you wanted? You just wanted a quick little 101 crash course? What the fuck did you want me? What, do you want me to review the lesson plans of Rory Rocks? What did you want from me? Hashtag Obsidian Outlaws for life. All right, let's
call it there then, shall we? Final question for you, Rem. Any chance you'd like to watch some more Kaiju Girl Caramelise with me?
If with a trusted vouch, then sure.
A trusted vouch, that's not me, I presume.
You can be a trusted vouch, but it needs to be, like, strong praise for, like, you're eligible to give a trusted vouch, but if you just came and be like, yeah, it's pretty decent, not good enough. If you showed up and you were like, yo, Remington, actually, it's some top tier shit. I understand your concerns. It becomes top tier shit. Then, sure.
Okay, so I need to be very passionate about my recommendation.
And if you weren't passionate about it, probably no need. Probably no need.
Oh, God. Man, oh man, fair enough.
Maybe show me the coolest kaiju scene that shows up.
Cool. Can do, bud. All right, well then, with that in mind, thank you all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. If you enjoy Rem doing his best to derail things at the end once again, but we'll have to see how much of that stays in, then please head on up.
It's just at the end. It's fine. It's fine. This time they got a full ass review. All right, they got a full review,
a full in-depth review, even.
Yeah.
But if you enjoyed all that, then you can head on over to wherever you get your podcast reviews and leave us one. They mean the world to us, and we do read every single one. I will say, the people that left reviews and left comments repeating the exact phrase I told them to did tickle me pink. I was very pleased by that.
Many shaking up the formula, and I enjoyed that as well.
Yeah, like just the soft little twists and changes as they wanted to add their own individual twist. It made me very happy, genuinely. I thought it was great. So thank you for that. And if that is still not enough for you, twitch.tv/anime-out-of-context, where myself, Dylan, and Remington occasionally play video games very poorly. I just started playing Persona 3, the remake version. I'm loving it. It's great. Lots of dark metaphors about death, which is fun. And also it's campy, which is great. Gotta love that teenage angst in your JRPGs. It's a lot of good old time fun. And if that is still not enough for you, patreon.com/anime-out-of-context, where you gain access to all kinds of lovely bonus material, including the opportunity to be thanked live on the podcast. So, Rem, who are we thinking this week?
As always, we'd like to send our regards to all of our bland bitch protagonists, as well as our magical girls, who we really appreciate. But moving on, we get to our yandere waifus, who are going full kaiju and blasting us away. And on that list we have Yeti Has Nothing to Say, Booster Relationship to Continue, Yandere Neko. Y'all ever had a mime girl tickle your taint after ordering a Rudy Tooty fresh and fruity from IHOP? Life-changing, I tell you.
What? What the fuck is a Rudy Tooty fresh and fruity?
Hear me out. I think Shaun would be shockingly turned on by a mime girl.
What are you trying to say?
I think if a mime girl flirted with him, it would awaken something deep inside. And that it would take up a good 2 to 4 weeks of search history for him.
How does a mime like in full like character, like silently flirting?
Yeah.
You think that would just like set me on a crisis, a spiral, as it were?
I think you'd learn a lot about yourself. Well, I just don't know if we can say that. Wolfire 56, West Kane, week 1 of asking Dylan for his favorite bands.
Okay, that is a tough one. I don't exactly have a single favorite band at the moment, but I do have bands that I prefer within certain genres or subgenres. And honestly, since it's the end of the episode and Rem has already had his tangent time, it's my turn. If you've made it this far, please let me know what you think of my picks and give me recommendations based on either in the Discord or comment on the episode. For folk punk, I have to go with local icons Folk Hogan. Their sound has changed since their accordion player quit the band to suck Mr. Beast's asshole, but the band is still fucking fantastic. Poor Man's Poison and Amigo the Devil are also great picks, but they're much more heavy on the folk side of the folk punk spectrum. With more standard punk, I lean more towards Bad Religion and Descendants, a bit softer, more clean vocals, but I do enjoy things that are a bit more aggressive along the vein of Fear and Against Me. With pop punk, I've fucked with Hummus Vacuum and Burn the Ballroom, especially lately. Hummus Vacuum's album, The Art of a Fake Laugh, is fucking delightful. And Burn the Ballroom just did a weird cover of Hurt with Patrick Warburton. It's weird. It's fun, though. And with more modern metal, I've got to go with Mastodon and Ice Nine Kills, though Ice Nine Kills' output after the second Horrorwood album has come across as scraping the bottom of the barrel of the gimmick and has completely failed to grab me. With power metal, I've got some pretty basic picks, Rhapsody, Blind Guardian, and of course Sabaton, though Sabaton fans are occasionally problematic, let's say. In regards to, just goth overall, just very broad goth, I'll go with Aurelio Voltaire and Vision Video. Oh my god, Dusty Gannon, holy shit. And then finally, when I'm cleaning the apartment and just want something fun to dance and sing to while doing chores, you can't go wrong with either Felix Hagen or pretty much anything produced by Jim Steinman.
We need a separate podcast just to hear Remington's terrible movie opinions. Hey, this week's opinion was Sound of Music, mixed bag. Watching Requiem for a Spoon Man at 0.5 speed. Wait, why is my sergeant a frog? Variant, Untitled Code Goose Game. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That is pretty good.
Until my throat memorizes each one of Dylan's throbbing veins.
Christ.
Titan CNH. This week's identity pitch, salaciously sensual Shaun. This just in, one of my Hollow Knight devs came out as a trans woman, another joins our ranks. Shaun is next. The wheel is rolling towards a AnimEighties revisit. The Susanator, the Danish Viking will conquer the world with the Rhinosaur as my navigator. Turban, Tech Turtle, Super Zoo, Stacy's mom, Sparsy the unbiblically accurate angel, Slum-a-ding-dong in the door. Shaun, please put Rem in a jar. I'm getting bored of Judy. Shaun wants to give Spoon Man a thank and yank. Shaun ruined my happy sugar life when he started being super erotic with his fans after the race play allegations. There's just a lot there. Signing up Shaun's email on Republican websites until we get 2 seasons of Code Geass. Sarah from the Shark Plushie. Send Trip finally caught up on Spotify. Time for Patreon eps. Send it to be a podcast host. Shaun, are you single because none of your exes could match the goth girl vibes that Dylan exudes? they'll never be like him.
Oh, God. Look,
until one goth mime shows up and changes his life forever.
A goth mime. That's a combination I've never thought about.
And now that you have, it's all you're going to be thinking about for at least a week.
Look, I've long maintained that Dylan would be the best housewife.
Now imagine if he was a mime.
Are you just saying you want me to shut the fuck up?
He'd hate it because he doesn't want to be French.
Ryan Moody. Rolly's tournament arc so good it leaves Patreon exclusive zone. Rem won the World Cup. Remington is right. Rem, what do you think of Magic the Gathering? Rem was completely right this episode, Shaun. Rem uses the drums of liberation to free all weeps from bad anime. Rem doesn't completely hate my favorite shows. Red Pill Rollins, coming after the gays. Patriotism, U.S. Red Pill Rollins versus the Taliban in a basketball 1v1 win. Rakugo, nah, give me Shonen style series about podcasting instead. Professor Fox, pro tips out of context is run out of things to post. Misaka's new isekai is like Ascendance of a Bookworm, except that she wants to bring to the new world is only boys love manga. Mind Turtle 4042. Ma wants to thank you all for being awesome. Macaroni Cheesa, Lucky Stars, the King of Moe. Link Joe Curl, less than 6 weeks till I give birth. Learn Nerd 98, King Rich Rock, Cassidy, Jax, Jam Hands, Jake Dent. I'm going to bankrupt myself till Shaun takes the Unk test for a pre-banter. AmITheUnc.com. Samurai, I'm just here for the vibes. I want a Marvel movie starring Shaun, Spider-Man, and Remington's Big Wheel. I upgraded my Patreon membership for AnimEighties. I hate that Crunchyroll added the brown note to shows randomly, so you just shit yourself while watching season.
Oh, God. That's really fucking funny.
Oh, man.
Could you imagine? Just watching an episode of Ruri Rocks and out of nowhere, uh-oh.
You're like, why is this keep happening? Someone listens, you get some help, they listen to it, they shit themselves, and it's like, it's the brown note. Oh, I can't believe I made an account for this. Huffing Shaun's farts through a CPAP. Have you considered arson? Hattori Seiki. Gripin, glad I didn't start on episode 423. Rocks gets 7.47 out of 10. G bottom AK Bear Trap. Shaun, I will cash app you $20 if you make Rem watch more Jobless Reincarnated. I like when Rem is sad. What the fuck?
Oh, that's the most honest somebody's been about your suffering in a while, man.
Also, it is genuinely astonishing that just we keep getting feedback of everybody fucking hating this fucking show. But we know the rating!
Yeah, we know the rating.
I don't believe all of you are being honest. I don't know which ones of you are lying, but there's some of you. There's some of you.
Maybe our audience is just that refined, Rem. Have you considered that?
I don't believe it. And then I'm like, but if they're lying, I'm like, this is the one you're lying about? Not all the others you fuckers have defended? What the fuck? I don't understand. Farmer Weeb Dog wants to know if she's getting a treat this week or if Shaun is a monster. It's a good question. That's a good question. Excuse me, that lolly is at least 500 years old, Shaun. Erica McCorkle, Dylan's voice makes me come. Dr. Chase has cured my type 1 diabetes after roasting my favorite anime with his anti-sweet remarks. Who needs insulin? Achievement Girl, cute off. Satanya versus Shamiko. Which one, Shaun?
Sorry, which two?
Satanya versus Shamiko.
Hold on, I need to double check which characters they're referring to because your pronunciation throws me off. Oh, okay, her and... How do you spell the second one?
Shamako.
Shamako. Oh, they're asking me to compare Devil Girls. Interesting.
Yeah, it's a demon girl cute off, dumbass. What'd you expect?
Well, I didn't hear the first part. I just kind of tuned.
This man does not pay attention to you guys.
Based on my laughter, this pre-banter, this fucking pre-banter. What the fuck? This page.
So which one?
Cold Clock. I think Satania has a cuter design.
You better hope she's of age.
Oh,
Daddy,
she's
right.
well,
Daddy Rum, tell me a bedtime story about Shaun's nut. Calderius. Crypt update, we fell off, will change on my return. Citizen Vigilante is Red Pill Rollins' favorite non-anime media of all time. Chuck Burnett, I think Death Parade will be a decent anime for both, or either Dylan and Rem to review. Cheese Monkey, Brockhard for Dudes. Klingon Shaun would be named Shorf. There's something about that.
Next Generation would have been a wild series if Worf was called Shorf instead and was Ginger.
Blarf. Bento Kato, apparently the Samantha I'm dating is yours. Dad's? Excuse me, you're dating Samantha? Why are we hearing about this from you instead of her? What the fuck?
That's if you want our blessing, that's not the way to do it.
Listening to our podcast, it's the quickest way to lose our blessing. I don't want our girl dating anybody who listens to this fucking podcast. It just shows poor judgment. Anime Slimes, Anime Out of Context, the movie starring Tom Holland, Amazing Muffin, Aisha Gucci, and this one is worth especially shouting out because apparently they were gifted this subscription by their partner, right? But the issue is that for some reason Patreon with the organization decided fuck them, so their name hasn't been read a couple times.
Oh, seriously?
I don't know why. But super special shout out to Lil Chew. I'll send kaiju shaped Rollins heading your way.
I don't think you should be offering that. That doesn't
to give you a little hug, a little special hug for you, Lil Chew.
That's concerning. Didn't you just say that it was a gift from their partner?
Yeah, their partner can be in the Kaiju hug chain. It's just a hug. It's just a Kaiju hug. Or at least that's all I'm sending him to do. I mean, apparently he has other plans. Apparently, Kaiju Rollins feeling frisky.
I don't know how I feel about this new variant of me, Kaiju me.
Now we move on to the Boy Wizard tier. What are they gonna get this week, Shaun?
I was gonna give them like a Godzilla monster, cause
hell yeah.
Like what else would I give them?
On that list, we have Umbrasite.
They can have Godzilla from the 50s to the 70s because the design changes. So
I see.
Yeah.
Tarkoon Operator number 42.
They can have Mothra.
Triangle Warlock.
King Ghidorah.
The Wheel of God keeps turning.
Mecha Godzilla.
That Mouse Girl.
Rodan.
Sporadic Silver.
Biolante.
Silent Secondary.
Gigan.
Sam K is here to remind you of the secret third option.
Jet Jaguar is the secret
Roscoe.
third option.
Yeah, I guess. Roscoe.
Anguirus.
Rem, what is your opinion on Iron Lung?
Hedora.
Parcells, WWE question of the month. If the Mixed Match Challenge returns, who would be your dream team? My answer is Javon and Sol Ruka. I said I would think about it this week, but I'll be honest, I've been in fucking Montana. I didn't think about it a lick. I'll really think about it and have an answer next week.
They could have Space Godzilla.
Miguel DeLeon.
Destroya.
Johnny Guilty Gear Alucard.
Mecha King Ghidorah.
Domini Trigun will Red Pill even Rem.
Kaiser Ghidorah.
Carver 271.
Baby Godzilla.
Big Rare Kimiko thinks Hiyuka will make Remse with Ashiki Ninari Masu.
They can have Ebira, and I need to send you a picture of Ebira. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's just big shrimp.
It's just big shrimp.
It's just big shrimp.
Beethoven 1201.
Kamakiris.
Amtums.
Megalon.
Allfather 413.
King Caesar.
And Ekanon.
You can have Baragon.
And
Baragon is the one that makes me laugh because every time I think of Baragon, I think of their actress who just makes the cutest sounds in the suit. It's so good.
Now we move on to the inappropriate Joey Wheeler tier, where Shaun will tell you which emotion is going to activate your transformation, and I will tell you what you transform into. On that list, we have Why did the numbers go into quarantine? Because there was 6-7.
Apathy.
And when you feel apathy, what you transform into is... I can't do that to our to our lovely patrons. I can't. You will transform into the like fashion icon black hole from Tom Hardy's music video about Pluto. That's what you'll turn
Hyper
into.
specific.
Yeah, it's great. Check it out. Next up we got, when I think about you, I touch myself and leave disappointed. That's how I know Shaun is cis.
Yeah, you can have, I mean, like, let's just keep it on brand. How about lust?
Lust. And when you get absolutely filled to the brim with lust, you separate into the Frankenstein's monster and Frankenstein's bride. Specifically, we're talking about Karloff and Lanchester, 1930s, all right? You separate into those two, and you must you must find each other once more.
What an
so
elaborate...
that you can
what an
satisfyingly climax.
Yeah, I was about to say, what an elaborate way to tell them to go fuck themselves.
Until you find yourself, your two halves merge. You are just edging the whole time.
Oh my god,
I know!
That's rough.
Then we got Follow Anime Out of Context on Blue Sky is secretly the Callie Mac on YouTube about.
Yeah. Your emotion will be jubilation.
And when you feel great jubilation, you turn into Sean Rollins with a 6-pack. That's it.
Beer?
Both.
Oh, I see.
6-pack and a 6-pack, baby. But the 6-pack of beer does emerge from you. That's part of the transformation.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. And last but not least, we have Azulane Akagi as best ship girl.
Yeah. Let's go with deep sorrow. Yeah.
And when you feel that deep sorrow, fortunately, gratefully, you transform into Cheeto-say. When you transform to Cheetah-say, it's all okay. And so it's it ain't all bad.
That's going to be confusing to somebody if they did not listen to the Cheetah-say episode that we did years ago.
Well, first of all, they should have, because Cheetah-say's the GOAT. Second of all, if they didn't already, then they should have, because these are our patrons, and presumably they're having a great time with the tournament arc on the pre-band.
Exactly half of them are having a great time with the tournament arc.
It's true. It's true. Half of them are so sick and tired that we've been doing a month-long thing. And that's fine. Look, I don't need the pre-banters to be universally beloved. I'm going to keep throwing shit at the wall, and some of it's going to work better than others, and that's fine.
I mean, it is very comical that some of our highest rated stuff is also some of our lowest rated stuff simultaneously.
It's just how it goes.
We are
respectfully, I can't please all of you folks. Anyway, the thing opportunity, and if you want to reach out for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, you can send an email over onto animeoutofcontext@gmail.com.
Once again, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. We love and appreciate you very, very much. And as always, don't fuck your sister.
Do 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 do.
Do you think my scrawny ass deserves love?
I guess I would lean towards no.